Hello everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, we are going to learn this.
Fake cryptocurrency OneCoin, Ruya Ignatova is the world's most wanted woman. Dubbed the missing crypto queen, she's on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list after defrauding investors of $4.5 billion and then vanishing.
She is the only woman on the FBI's most wanted list. The mastermind behind one of the largest scams ever. Through a cult-like empire, she gained the trust of millions, took their life savings, and then she vanished with billions.
Fasten your seatbelts because this tutorial is packed with powerful skills from image generation to advanced motion graphics. You will learn text animation, masking tricks, smooth transition and motions, trim paths animation, currency counters, everything you need to level up your editing. So let's get started. Alright, so let's start with the new composition. Let's call it scene 1. Okay, 9020, 1080 and 30 frames per second. And it will be for 30 seconds because it will be large. Transparent, so from here you can change it. By the way, if you are serious about learning documentary style editing, then you should definitely check out this playlist shown in I button. It includes step-by-step breakdowns of creators like MagnatesMedia, Sakleen Khan, Nitish Rajput, Shivanshu Agrawal, and many more. Alright, so now we have all the assets gathered here, and I have organized it using this free script. You can also do so. I have provided the link in the description. You can download and use it. So this is the reorder, this one. And you click on it and it will organize all the files into images, videos and pre-composition, etc. Alright, so let's bring the first video file. Let's bring this news clip. Alright, let's trim it. Okay, so from here we'll taking. Okay, now let us scale it up around 200, just like this. Okay, let's change the position. So by pressing S you can open the scale, and by pressing P on the keyboard you can have this position keyframe. Let's make it center. Alright, then around 2 seconds, let's trim it by using Shift Command and D, so it will split this layer. Okay, and we will here to apply scale. Let's make it around 230. This much is enough. Okay. Alright, now we will adding our character. So go to images and we have this. This is our character. Let's bring it over here. Scale it up. Alright, and then there is a background behind it. This one. Okay, this is called police mugshot. So if you don't know what is the background and anything about the image, then you can just take the screenshot just like this and you can ask ChatGPT what it is or describe it. So I have done the same. I asked ChatGPT and asked to describe it. Okay, then you can search on the internet, or you can either ask ChatGPT to create the same. So this one is created by the ChatGPT. So let's scale it up. Alright, this is good. Okay, now let's pre-compose it. Right click, select both and pre-compose it. Let's call it the Ruya. Alright, now let's open it. Okay, if you now see this, we can add on the effect known as black and white. So hit Shift and space bar. So it will open this plugin known as the FX console by Video Copilot, and it is very handy and useful because it opens directly exactly at the timeline so that you can just add the effect. Otherwise you have to just search over here and you have to add. Hi, if you are still watching, don't forget to give us likes, You can also give your feedback as a comment. You can consider to subscribe to the channel. This will keep us motivated to bring more such videos. If you want, you can hype also. Thank you. This is very useful. It just speed up your work. Okay, so we have added this black and white effect. Okay, now command or control plus D, so that you can duplicate this layer. And now on the above layer, I will be using the mask using this pen tool. Okay, I will add mask over here, and on that mask I will add the Gaussian blur. So select upper layer, use pen tool, and just create this mask just like this. Okay, then let's add this Gaussian blur. Okay, similarly let's bring this profile pose, this one, let's bring it over here. Let's adjust the position. Okay, this one is also the same sort, and I asked ChatGPT to create the profile sort, and it has created. Okay, let's scale it little bit. Adjust the position. Okay, let's add the black and white effect. Alright, so we have this black and white. Okay, similarly let's command or control plus D and duplicate. Add the same Gaussian blur effect. So this will show first, so let's bring it over here. Okay, then the other will show. Okay, so somewhere around here. Okay, at 2 seconds. Okay, and just after, okay, here we can show it. It's 3 seconds. Okay, at 3 seconds it will come, and at 4 seconds it will be changed to this front view. Okay, so let's bring it over here. Alright, and let's trim this layer below by using the Alt or Option key and this bracket key. Okay, so cut it precisely so it will not visible in this. It should not visible in this. Okay, so we have now this. After 1 second it is changing. Okay, and so here 4 seconds, and at 5 seconds it will be zoomed to fill the screen. Okay, so we will achieve this by using the null object. So create the null object. Okay, then parent this layer with this null object. So null will zoom it because there is a continuous zoom. Okay, so around here we can add this press S for the scale and add a keyframe. Alright, so here it comes. 5 seconds we want zoom. Okay, so just hold this command key and press U and use this back arrow one frame behind. Okay, and add one keyframe. Okay, again press command and forward arrow, move 1 frame. Okay, so exactly we are at the 1 second. So now let's zoom it to around this much exactly. Wonderful. Okay, then again move to the previous frame, so you can use this arrow to move the previous frame. Okay, and then just let's give this little bit zoom because it is ongoing. Okay, and we can zoom it. Alright, then select all the keyframes, press F9. Let's see how it looks. This is the kind of photograph, so we can add this photograph effect, and we can use the sound effect. Camera click over this point, so press U to reveal this keyframe. Okay, so here we can prominently add one flash effect. So for that, yes, we will be using this adjustment layer to add adjustment layer. Okay, just trim it over here by Alt and bracket key. So we have this layer. Okay, on this adjustment layer we will be adding the exposure effect. Alright, let's zoom it so we can see it properly. So now increase the exposure, just like this. So it will move very fast. Okay, so if it is combined with the camera click effect, it will look like the photo has taken. Okay, even you can trim it little bit if it is very large. Just keep like this. This will be enough. Let's see. This will look like the photo has been clicked. Okay, so now to give it a documentary kind of effect, we will be adding the another adjustment layer. Now let's rename first this adjustment layer as a flash or camera click. Okay, another thing that we can add in this layer, character layer, we can add this background. Okay. So again, this background also I have created using the ChatGPT because I did not know what was the background, so just I asked ChatGPT to describe it and to create it. Okay, so this is a nice background. Okay, even you can add exposure effect to make it dark and bring down the exposure just like this. Alright, now we can add the text over here. So let's add text. Let's add the text. Okay, let's change the font to like Montserrat bold. Let's bring it into center using the align. So if you are not able to see this align, just go to window and make sure that it has been clicked. Okay, so we have it in the center. Okay, so you can keep it over here, or you can move it inside this pre-comp, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so over here it is coming. Okay, so let's add the animation over the text. So we have this preset animation over here, animation preset, and from that we have text, and text we have this animate in. So we will be adding this slide down by character. We will be using this slide down by character. Okay, press U. After flash we can add. So let's bring it over here. Okay, so we have this nice character animation. Okay, smooth. Can just cut it over here along with this composition. Okay, Alt and left bracket key. Okay, this one also. So it will disappear. Can also animate the blur. So for that, go to text and click on this animate and add this blur effect. Okay, so it will add the another animator, and from this animator select this add property and add this opacity. Again click property and add scale. Okay, now make this scale 150. Okay, and opacity 0 and blur to 100%. Alright, go to this range selector. Okay, go to advanced and change this shape to ramp up. Do this is low to 50%. Alright, so it will have this kind of blur effect. Okay, now go to this offset. Okay, and now we have this keyframe over here. Just around over here. Add this keyframe to offset and let's make it minus 100. Okay, and move here just before this keyframe over here and just make it plus 100. Okay, so we'll have this kind of effect. Okay, select both the keyframe and just press F9 to smoothen it out. Okay, even we can spread it out if you want. Make it slow. Yeah, great. Okay. Alright. Now this one is okay. So now we will add the another coin animation. But before that, let's add this new adjustment layer. let's call it bars. So it will show like this old TV kind of bars look, old TV kind of look. So for that, let's add this grid effect. Like then go to setting and change this to width and height slider. For the width, select 4. Okay, keep this height 5. Alright, order you can keep 2. Okay, even we can change the feather. We don't want this width to show. Okay, so let's make this feather of the width to 14 or 15. Okay, so it will not visible. We will see only horizontal bar. Okay, and for height, make it. Okay, so height 4 and this one is around 16 or so. And change this blending mode to screen. So you will see this kind of horizontal bar. So if you want to be seen it more, then yes, you can increase the width and height. Okay, and you can decrease the feather effect. Okay, all right, now add another effect on this same adjustment layer. Add noise effect and add some 5% noise. Okay, then add another another effect, VR glitch, VR digital glitch. Go to distortion, color distortion, keep it 10. Okay, let's make 0 to rest of the value. Another effect you can add is exposure. Okay, and you can just little bit brighten it. Okay, just like this. 0.3 will be good. Okay, so this is before, this is after. So we have this kind of bar effect. Okay, switch off. It's kind of bar effect. Okay, all right, if bars are less visible, then you can just decrease the feather of this bar for the height to 0. Okay, so more visible. Okay, but let's keep it around 2. It will be okay. So adjust as per your thing. Okay, even if we wish, then we can add drop shadow over the text and then increasing the softness. Okay, so now it's looking perfect. Okay, for the next scene, we are going to animate the one coin logo. Okay, for that we have this PNG file. This is the PNG file. So what you can do, you can just convert it to 3D layer and you can animate, or you can really convert it to 3D logo using some AI websites and then import it as a OBJ file and you can animate it. But I'm going to create a fake 3D and then we are going to animate it. So let's do that. Okay, so around here, around 8 seconds, we will be needing that logo. So let's first bring this logo here. All right, let's scale it up just like this. Let's duplicate it. So we have now this 2 logo. Okay, one will be used as a front and this second will be used as a back. Okay, and the portion between 2 coin, we will use this circle. Okay, without selecting any layer, or press F2 for that on the keyboard and keep holding shift, you can have this kind of circle. Okay, then adjust it over here. Okay, and increase the size, scale it up just like this. Okay, also adjust the so perfectly fit. Let's make it in between these coin layers. Okay, now let's select all 3 and convert it to 3D, and it is a advanced 3D. Alright, now let's change to 2 view. Okay, so we have this 2 view, then this is the shape layer. Okay, and for the shape layer we will be opening this geometry option. Don't select anything, just increase the extrusion depth to around 20. So you can see in this view, top view, that it has a thickness. Alright, now just create another layer, new null object. Let's rename it as coin because this will enable us to animate the coin. Okay, also don't forget to convert it to 3D. Okay, then select all these 3 layers and connect it or parent it with the coin. Okay, now press R for rotation and use this R rotation. So you can see that we have this coin. Okay, so this is the back side. Okay, now on the back side we have this layer towards the end so that we can see the logo, back side of the logo. Just lift it, just like this. Okay, alright, and using the rotation we can. Alright, then select this coin layer again and go to transform and flip it horizontal because it is looking weird. Okay, so it will change its position little bit. So for that, just hold the x-axis and just adjust it slightly. Okay, so now it is a perfect coin. Okay, now let's change again back to the original position. Now here also we have to adjust this first layer. So just bring it forward little bit, just little bit. So we have this logo, and if you rotate, it will a kind of real 3D coin, but it's a fake. Alright, so let's make it again 0. Okay, so we have this coin and we are going to animate it. Okay, so around 8 seconds, little bit above. Okay, so press for P for position, press hold shift and press R for rotation. Let's add a position keyframe X, Y, and we don't need Z rotation. Okay, so this will be the final position, but it will start from around here, just like this, from over here. Okay, even later we can just drag the keyframes and we can adjust the time duration. So don't worry about it. Just drag this X position and then this Y position, X position, Y position. Alright, and use this Z position to make it appear as large. Okay, very large, that it will fill the screen kind of. Okay, and you can also change this X and Y position from here. Okay, but before that make it very large. Adjust the X and Y position. Alright, very large. Okay, X and Y position for time being because we need to see this rotation over here. So this is the X rotation I am doing. Okay, tilting this coin very just like this, and also changing the okay, we will also need this Z rotation or Z rotation. So let's also change it. Alright, and we have this X rotation. Alright, then let's move it again. Okay, and using this Z position we can move it outside. Okay, now let us see. So this is how it is coming over here, and this is how it will. Alright, but it is very small, looking very small. Okay, so we can just change its position over here, 11 seconds or so. So this will be the final position. Okay, and just before that 1 second over here we can just Control C and we can just copy paste this keyframe. Okay, so we have this same position. Okay, but here what we will do on this keyframe, we are going to change this Z position so it appears as a large, because currently it is appearing very small. I want it to be very large. And also we can change this position like this. Okay, so this much will do. So from here it is coming into picture, and okay, and alright, in here again here it is coming to. Alright, now again we can move this keyframe to 12 seconds. Okay, and then by command or Control C and at 11 second we will be pasting this same keyframe. Okay, at 11. Control V. Okay, now why we have pasted this? Because we need a rotation. So why rotation? Here we will do this one rotation. Okay, so add one here. That's it. Let's do this -1. So we have this one rotation. Okay, we have deleted this Y rotation keyframe. So it will only rotate over here, just one rotation, and then it will settle down. Okay, so this is the animation. So once coin come and rotate and it will. Okay, now what is happening here? This when it becomes small, it's kind of strike because there will be a blast over here and then there will be a transition. Okay, so we want to make it very fast. So select all the keyframe, press F9 for smooth. Okay, so it will come. Okay, so we can select this position keyframe, go to this keyframe editor. Okay, select this keyframe. Now let's make it slow, just like this. Alright, now for here, for this keyframe, we want it to be very fast. So what we will do, we will select this keyframe and we will make it fast. So it will just like that. Okay, so done. So it is rotating and then it is okay, even we can, for this rotation also we can select these two keyframe and we will do something like this, just like this. Okay, even we can spread it out, this keyframe, by holding the Alt key. Alright, so it will start its rotation just before that, not like it settle down and it start, but it's like a continuous, just like that. So it will look nice. Okay, now let us see. Okay, so it's look great. Now once it boom, and let's press U to reveal the keyframe. Okay, so once this goes to here, there is a blast. Okay, so we have this video file over here. This is the blast file. So bring it over here below the coin layer. Okay, also bring this, also add this ink layer, and we have this background file, this one. Let us bring it over here. Okay, so this is the blast. Okay, then this is the file having the. Okay, so first we will need this blast file. Okay, so where it will be needed. So over here, once this coin is touching here, that should be a blast. Okay, just like this. Okay, so blast. Okay, then we need this ink layer. Okay, let's scale it down 50. So this is the blast layer. Okay, so first there is a small dot, then it is ink. So we can trim it little bit from here. Okay, so it will start from here. Okay, now let's change its blending mode. So if this blending mode is not visible, then you can click over here, toggle switches mode, or you can press F4. Okay, so now we have this blending mode. So change this blending mode of ink layer to multiply. Okay, and change the blending layer of blast to screen. Alright, so we can now see this blast is happening below the coin. When the coin is becoming short, blast is going. We can increase over here, just blast. Alright, and then we have this kind of ink layer. Okay, just like this. Okay, now what we have to do, just scale it, this background layer that we are going to use as a matte. Okay, so this is this background layer, just use it as a matte. Okay, so select this background and use the ink layer as a matte. It is a Luma matte and it is inverted. Okay, so when you have this ink layer, there will be revelation of this background. Okay, this kind of thing. Okay, and this ink layer is small, not filling the whole screen. So what we can do, just we can add the scale keyframe, and then around somewhere around, once this blast somewhere around, we can at 13 seconds or so we can fill the whole screen. Okay, so let's make it smooth by pressing F9. Alright, so we have this ink layer and then we have this blast. Okay, now if you see this background, it is kind of animating. Okay, so we can add this in the background. Let's select it and we can add the press S for scale and press P for position. We can add the position and scale keyframe. Okay, move to 1 second. Move to 1 second, change the position. Okay, little bit, increase the scale. Again move to 14 second, change the position. Okay, decrease the scale, position change. Okay, again going to 15 second. Alright, and using this, copy this keyframe, paste it over here. Okay, then again copy this keyframe and paste it over here. Okay, then select this all middle keyframe and right click and toggle hold keyframe. So we will have this kind of background which continuously move or animate. Alright, so this is the thing. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so if you want to just increase the speed, hold Alt key and just decrease the space, so it will have this speed. Alright, now we can just trim these layers over here. We don't need this much, so we can trim it here. Okay, also we can trim this blast layer over here. Okay, because we already have blast. Alright, and we have this same time the coin animation. This coin is moving, so around 16 seconds. Let's make it small and we can change this kind of position and let's make it very small, just like this. Okay, so we have this coin is coming animation and then boom, and okay, so if you feel that it is fast, you can just select this keyframe and you can just hold Alt key and you can move slightly. Okay, so it will have this kind of slow. Okay, so now it is slow. Okay, so once this is come, the another layer is coming over here, and that is that character, main character, that is coming. So let's bring it. So that is the front image, this one. So let's bring it over here. Alright, so this is the image. Let's scale it up little bit. Then let's make another copy by Command or Control plus D. Okay, select both the image. Let's pre-comp it. Let's call this front. Alright, so we have this. Let's open it. Okay, let's add this black and white effect for this also. Alright, and same for the above image. Let's create one mask and add Gaussian blur. Okay, so here we can now So in scene 1, what is happening? This is the animation of coin, and then there will be this image. Okay, so what we can do, just move it over here. After this, we want this to come into the picture. Okay, so let's keep it over here. Let's open it. Okay, and here we will do the thing. Okay, so now there is a text behind it. One text is in the front, and we will add the another text in the background. Okay, so let's do that. So let's type. So we are using this Babus new font. So if you don't know which are the font that has been used, you can just take a screenshot and ask ChatGPT which are the font that has been used, and it will tell you. So let's select it, and okay, so now we have this font. Okay, all right, so this is behind the character, so let's adjust it. So this is the around 180 or so. Okay, this kind of. So we can change the position over here just like this. Okay, and now let's animate it. Okay, so this is the font, and then there is one layer behind this. So for the layer, we will be selecting this pen tool without selecting any layer. Fill will be no fill, and stroke will be solid, and we will be selecting the color of the stroke. It is kind of yellow, Okay, click OK. Then from here to here. Okay, we will also increase the, let's keep it over here just like this, and let's increase the spread, so it is around 90. Okay, now let's put it behind this. All right, okay, let us change this color a little bit dark. All right, this will good. Okay, now add the turbulent displacement effect. Okay, change this value amount to around 30 and this size to around 5. Okay, so it will have this kind of rough edges, and you can increase the complexity just like this. Okay, so it will appear more super. Okay, then we will animate it later. All right, so this is the this text. Okay, again you can just recompose it. Okay, and let's call it text 1. All right, so this is the text 1. Okay, so now let's open this text 1 and let's animate. Okay, let's animate this text. So this text animation is having this slide up animation, so we will use this default preset, animation presets, and we have this text animation, animate in, and from here we can select the slide up by word. So it is a kind of slide up by word. See, slide up by word. Okay, but its position is quite low, so go to text, slide up by word, change this position to 100. Okay, so it will have this kind of sliding. Okay, smooth. Okay, now press U to reveal keyframe and just smoothen it out. We will adjust the, press F9. We will adjust the duration later on. Okay, so before this text is getting animated, this ribbon like shape is getting animated. So for that, go to this shape layer. Okay, you can use these trim paths to animate it. Go to trim path. Okay, then make this end to 0. Alright, so over here, add keyframe to end, come to over here and make it 100%. Alright, so this is how it is happening. Okay, select both the keyframe, press F9. So ribbon is animating, then this thing is animating. Okay, can adjust the speed. So this is in the front and another one is in the background. Okay, so now we can duplicate this in the project. So here it is. So let's command or control plus D and duplicate it. Let's bring it the front because it is in the front. Okay, let's change the text. Let's type wanted list. Okay, so again it will have this kind of animation, and we can just increase the stroke if you want. Can change the position. Okay, and we can just expand it also. Okay, so we have this kind of animation. Okay, so let's check. So this is the first animation, then this is the second animation. Adjust the second text position over here like this, looking nice. So once this text animation almost over, this will arise. Okay, so just like this. Great, now it's looking great. Okay, so both text is ready. Okay, even we can add this drop shadow effect if you want on the text so it become prominent. Let us see, we will add it later on if we feel so. Okay, so now we have this image and we want to animate it. Okay, so let's convert it to 3D. If 3D option is not visible, click on this toggle switches mode, convert it to 3D. Okay, so now we can just animate it. Press P for position. Okay, so somewhere around here we can. Okay, so once this going, this will start up here. Okay, so let's add position keyframe. So this is the final position over here. So add it, then come back over here. Once this is the blast, then it will start up here. So add around 14 seconds, add another keyframe from here. Come to this initial keyframe, okay, and then we will change this. Okay, Z position just like this, and change this Y position. Okay, so this is how it will start up here. Okay, so this is blast, start up here. Okay, and just open this layer and adjust this text. Okay, so let us take this text and move it little bit backward. Okay, so it will not animate, it will animate later over here, just like this. Okay, so once this scene start to appear over here, it will start animate, not before that, just like this. This scene is over. Press F9 for easy ease. Go to keyframe assistant and then just make the later part slow. So you see here, this is the idea. So if this is vertical, of it shows the speed. So if this is the slope, then it is slow speed. If it is the steep, then it is the fast. So you can see here, it is coming fast and then it is slowing down. Okay, or we can have this kind of thing. Okay, so you can play around with this keyframe to make it slow or fast. Otherwise we will not be able to finish this tutorial if we continue to play with it, continue to mess with it. Okay, so it's coming and then this kind of. Okay, so looking nice. Okay, so before moving further, we are already there in this advanced 3D render. So what we can do, just we can add the environmental light. Okay, we can add environmental light. Okay, and we will be increasing the intensity just like this. Okay, and if you play with the this thing, see, it is having this kind of shiny effect, glowing effect. Okay, so when it is rotating, we can add this X and Y rotation. Okay, and over here we can change it to Okay. Okay, so you can see that it is having kind of shadow. Okay, even here we can adjust it just when it is coming. Let us see how we can adjust it. Alright, so it's glowing. Yes, you can add HDR light and connect it with this environment light setting, and you can create advanced environmental light with beautiful shining reflection on this coin. Press F9 for easy. So it will have this kind of reflection, light reflection, so it will look kind of cool. Okay, you can play with it. Alright, we don't want it for our whole scene. See, there is a switch off and this is switch on. This kind of light reflection. Okay, but it should not have any effect on the rest of the scene. So it does not have. Okay, even if for making sure, let us stream it over here. Let us stream it. Alright, so that was the final thing we can do for our this coin animation. Alright, now in this next scene, what is happening? It's like this is like kind of this composition, that is our this scene 1 composition. It is kind of pasted on this crime board, so the camera is zooming out and it looks like this video is posted on that crime board. Alright, so how we can do that? So we will create another composition where we will be adding this background crime board, and on that crime board we will be pasting over this composition, and by moving the camera you can just mimic like it is sticked on the crime board. So let us do that. Alright, so for that we will be needing a new composition. So let's create a new composition. Let's call it master. Alright, same setting. Click OK. Alright, then we will need that image crime board. Okay, so we have this image crime board, but it is very kind of small. It is not a full size 9020 1080, so we have to convert it into the Photoshop. So let's do that. So let's open this Photoshop. So creating new file, and size is width 2100, more than 9020, and 1080 with the height. Okay, we want it broad. Okay, then I'm adding this image and let's adjust it. Okay, then we have to create using the Photoshop AI. We will be creating the this extra part up for this image. Okay, so go to this rectangular marquee tool and select this side. Okay, and click on generative fill, click generate, and it will automatically create this. Alright, this is great. It have 3 options. You can choose any one which you feel that it's good. So actually I'm keeping the first one. Okay, now repeat the same for the this portion on the left side. Alright, so we have now this complete image. Perfect. Okay, so just select these layers all and convert it to a single object. So we have now this single image, and delete this background, we don't need it. Rename it. Alright, then this using this object selection tool, we will be selecting this tables and the fan, because we want to separate it so that we can animate while moving from one scene to the last scene. Either you can use mask or you can use this object selection tool. Okay, so once everything is selected, you can click on this create mask. Alright, and if the select this mask part, and you can subtract or add to mask if the parts are missing. So I am adding the parts which are missing to the mask. Alright, so this is how I have created these separate tables from our main scene. Okay, and we are going to animate it. Okay, so we have this table and we have also here this. Okay, so we can remove this part from here. Okay, so we can just use this eraser and we can remove it. Okay, we can use this eraser, we can remove it just like this because we have already. Right, so you remove. Now let's select this, use this lasso tool and select this part of this. Okay, then click on generative fill and click generate. Alright, so perfect. You can see that it is perfectly developed this. Nice. So now select this both the layers and make it, convert it to smart object. Let us rename as crime. Okay, so we have this image and we have this board. Okay, save it as a Photoshop layer. Okay, so here we have this master composition. Let's import that Photoshop file here. Select this editable layers and return layer sizes. Okay, so we have this crime board and this table. Okay, we can rename it over here, table. This is the board. Okay, so let's first bring this board and then we have this table. Alright, convert it to 3D. Okay, and place this table over here, change to 2 view so that we can properly place this position. Okay, so board far away over here in the background, and this is the table. You can place it over here just like this. Okay, like this. Okay, even we can increase scale of this crime board just like this. Perfect. And then we can again adjust the table just like this, just like this. Okay, so this is our crime board and we want to paste our composition over here. Okay, so let's bring our scene 1. So this is our scene 1. Let's import it over here, then make it 3D. Okay, and here is the trick. This scene, this is the Z position. Okay, this should be the same Z position as our crime board. Okay, so this is disappearing. Okay, so it is behind it, just in front of it. Okay, alright, then what we will do, we will decrease the size. Don't worry about this. Okay, so we are decreasing the size. Okay, then we will adjust its exposition. Okay, and little bit we can give the rotation slightly. Okay, still we can bring it down, the size 30, and let's bring this Z position. It is 533. Let's make it 532, or let's make it 530. Okay, now it is here. Okay, so now scale it down, like let's make it 25. Okay, now what you are seeing here is our crime board where we have pasted our, you can zoom it. So this is our crime board where we have pasted our this composition. Okay, now this composition is live. You can see that. Now what we have to do, just we have to close the camera, 3D camera, close over this crime board and then zooming out. Okay, so at the end it will have this whole room and the crime board scene. Okay, now how to do that? Let us first add these pins. So we have these images of this pin, this one. So let's bring it over here, convert it to 3D, and just we have to make sure that it is having this same Z position. Okay, just like this. Alright. Okay, scale it down like 2 or maybe 3. Okay, and place it over the corner. You can hold space bar and you can drag the layer here. Okay, so at the very top, little bit outside will also work. Okay, and add drop shadow. We can change this angle. Okay, let's change it like this, around 196 or 97. Let's increase the distance because the shadow is coming from up. Okay, and then we can increase the softness also to quite high. Okay, barely visible. Okay, now let's duplicate this by Command or Control plus D, and let's place it over here, the other end over here. Okay, then similarly you can place it over here also. So duplicate it and let's bring it over here, just like this. Duplicate and place it over here. So we have this screen board. Okay, and it is fitted on this. Okay, and we want that it should be zoomed. Okay, so now what we will do, let's right click and let's add camera 35mm. Okay, click OK. Okay, now we will be moving the camera using the null. So right click and add a new null object. Okay, let's rename it as a camera control. Okay, and parent our camera with this null. Also convert it to 3D. Okay, so you can see that as we move this camera closer, it will zoom to the board. So that is the idea. So keep your playhead at the very beginning, the initial position, and make this to the center. Okay, over here, and then zoom it. Zoom it so that our camera is close to the screen, completely close to it, so that even that pin also not be visible. Alright, just like this. Okay, and also we can have this rotation. Okay, so our scene have also rotation little bit. Z rotation. Okay, sorry, orientation 1.3. Okay, so let's make this orientation 0. Okay, orientation is 0, and instead we will do a Z rotation of 1. Okay, why I did this? Because if you see the position, it is pinned to this board. Okay, that is why I have changed this little bit, rotated. Okay, just like this. Okay, so this is the ultimate rotation. Okay, now let's rotate our Z for the camera to 1. Okay, so this is also rotated, so it's look like we are in the same position. Okay, adjust this XY position just like this little bit. Okay, corner, and let's little bit zoom it completely just like this. Okay, so now perfect. We have this video. Okay, and then we have this coming over here. Okay, just like this. And okay, most wanted list. So once this animation is over, we can zoom it out. So we can add this position, and the other is the rotation, that is the Z rotation keyframe, and over 18 seconds we can zoom out just like this. Okay, just like this, the complete crime board and the room. Okay, just like this. Okay, and let us make it 0 again. Okay, select all the keyframe, press F9. Okay, so we can select this keyframe, position keyframe, and go to this keyframe editor. So it is not completely visible. You can just click on this graph height icon. Okay, and it will be visible. So let us make it slow and then fast. So just do this, drag this, and it will be slow start and then fast. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it is zooming out. And okay, so if you think that you have very if you don't want to see this, then when it starts zooming, you can just add this pin, okay, over here. So we can just select these pins, okay, and we can just trim it out just like this option and the bracket key. Okay, so now it will be visible. Okay, so even if you want, you can do this kind of trick. Okay, just like this, adjusting the X and the Y position. Okay, and little bit of zoom. Okay, so now it is completely filling the screen. Okay, this pin will be available after that. Okay, here let's adjust it little bit more, like zooming is starting here, so let's make it over here. Okay, so once it starts zooming out, it will appear. So it will not interfere with our main video, but once it starts zooming, it will appear. So this is the kind of trick that this video composition, scene 1 is not in infinite loop. Okay, and it is also difficult to maintain this much of the video. So what we will do, so you can see that it is this video is moving. Okay, then from here, okay, somewhere around here. Okay, let's first finish the zoom. Okay, so position, and let's finish the zoom. No need to zoom it more. Okay, just like this much will be enough. Okay, so we have this kind of thing. Okay, if it is needed, we will adjust it more. Okay, so just like this. Okay, this much will be enough. Okay, so this is the transformation from this scene to this scene. Okay, so once this transformation is happening over 18 seconds, okay, so this scene is over. Okay, so over here 18 seconds or 17 seconds depending upon the composition. Go to this scene 1. Okay, at this, without changing the keyframe position, just keep it over here. And what we will do, go to composition and save frame as file. Okay, go click on this and select this JPEG sequence. Alright, click OK. This format option, maximum quality. Okay, click OK and select the output to place where you have saved your assets. Okay, and click render. So it will save this screenshot. So again, come to scene 1. We haven't changed this position or anything. Okay, what we will do, we will just import this. We will import this file. So then import this file over here. Okay, and just place it over here. Just over here. Alright, so this is our static image. Okay, alright, so we have this thing. Okay, so once this will be replaced by the image. Okay, so even if this particular video composition is ending here, it will not affect this further scene because it is replaced by this image. Okay, here. Okay, suppose if everything is over here, this animation loop in the background, etc., it will not affect, and even you can trim rest of the layer here. So this is the complete animation. Then we will move from this side to on this side, and we will add our final scene where the characters are seeing in the greedy position and they are just rushing for the crypto coin or this one coin, and then they are robbed by this crypto coin. So that is the idea. Alright, so we have completed this scene, and now let us just reduce the size of this pin. So let's make it 2. I think it will be better. Alright, this may... Okay, so it will be less visible than the previous. Right, even we can move this position little bit towards the end. So you just flip it horizontally, okay? So change this position little bit so it doesn't look like they are all same. Little bit, okay? Nothing. If you want, you can. Otherwise, it's okay. Alright, so once it kind of over here, so once they start coming, there is kind of weird spherical effect that we can add. So let's add new adjustment layer. Let's hit enter to rename it, and let's call it a lens effect. Okay, distorted lens effect, and for that we will be adding the effect known as CC lens. Alright, so it is pretty spherical, so just we will make it just like not much. Let us make it like 400. So it's okay, 400. Okay, so it's look like this band, okay, just like this. Okay, band. Okay, so it will start from over here. From here we can start. So let's add this keyframe over here and just trim it over here, this layer. Okay, and then around here we can add another keyframe. So press U to reveal the keyframe. Add another keyframe over here. Okay, and then just make it 500. Okay, so there will be kind of no effect. Okay, gradually. Okay, let us take it over here and this one here. Select all the keyframe and press F9 for easy. Now let us see. So it's kind of and then it's smooth. Okay, so just it's a kind of distortion. Okay, and then eventually that distortion will smoothly disappear. Okay, just like this. Okay, the rest of the thing, like we will be setting this camera's blur and its focus distance, etc. later on. Let us first quickly finish the scene, and the last scene where this our camera moves from this room to the street. Alright, okay, so let us see this camera movement. Press U to reveal the keyframe. Okay, so it's here. So around here, let's duplicate this camera control. So basically this is a null layer. Press U to reveal keyframe. Okay, delete this all keyframe. Okay, we don't need it. Alright, so just this is somewhere around like over here we can add the keyframe to position. Alright, then parent this previous null with this latest null. Okay, this. Okay, so this is the previous null. Parent it with this current null. Okay, go around 22 and we have this over here 24 or something. Okay, and then just try to change the position. Alright, just like this. Okay, just like this. Don't worry about this thing. We will be okay, just like this. Change it and take it over here, just like this. Okay, so okay, here. So this will be our so okay, and then press F9 for easy ease. Go to this keyframe assistant. Okay, select this and keyframe velocity. Okay, and this one make it 50. Okay, so just like this. So now let us see. Okay, so it is moving from one scene to other. Okay, now this weird movement of this table, this will let us correct it. Why it is moving fast? Because this table is very far away from the main scene. Okay, that is why it is moving very fast. Let us make it close over here. Okay, so it doesn't look weird. Still more here. Okay, so we have this, and then we have this table movement. Okay, perfect, just like this. Okay, even if you want, you can just get more, but just make sure that just this kind of. Okay, let us now see, just like this. All right, so it's stable and we are moving from one scene to other. Okay, now in this screen, let's change to one view. In this screen, okay, over here we want our last scene. Okay, so what is that? That is our street view. So for that we will be importing our PSD file. Okay, below this camera. Okay, let us increase this timeline size. Okay, so we have this road file. Okay, convert it to 3D and press command plus home or control plus home. Okay, and make sure that you are in one view, otherwise sometimes this command plus home button will not work. Okay, similarly add this convert it to 3D, again place command plus home. Okay, we will set it later. Then add this house 2 or building 2 file, command plus home. Then we have this one at the last, convert it to 3D, command. Alright, so this is the kind of thing. Okay, everything is in center. Now let's change to 2 view. Okay, so we have this layer over here. So let us put it over here, just like beside this layer. This is our last layer for the previous scene. So we are just placing it beside this layer. Even we can scale it. Then we have this road. Okay, then this one is the right. Let us bring it over here, just like this. Okay, and let's take it close to this layer. Okay, then we have this second layer, which is again close to the layer. So now we have this building. Okay, then we have this left building. So also put it over here, convert it to 3D, change to one view and click command plus home. Alright, so see, it is already set in its position perfectly. Let us change little bit, just like this. Okay, so this is the street scene that we have built. To view again, and let's take it little bit back, or it is okay. Okay, then why this one is interfering? So let's change this last layer. We can take it over here. Okay, just like this. Okay, doesn't look weird. Alright, so let's check if anything looking weird or kind of edgy. So this look weird, like floating. Okay, so for that what we can do, just select this house layer and it's perfect. Okay, we can just increase the scale of the road, just like this. Okay, so now it is perfect. Okay, nothing is visible or nothing is weird. Okay, another thing is that we can just add one solid layer. Okay, so go to new layer and add a new solid. Select this as a black color, or you can select this color from over here, this color, using dropper, and then just don't convert it to 3D or anything, just put it below this at last. Okay, so it will fill all the empty thing. So now we have set our layer. This is kind of this weird looking shadow over here. Let us check which layer is creating it. Okay, so let's send it behind this road layer. Okay, so now it is disappearing. Okay, now again one view we will create. So this one is this first building. Okay, so over that we will create one mask. Okay, so just like this small mask we will create. Okay, over here. All right. Okay, so press M for the mask and invert it. Okay, then increase this mask feather. Increase the mask feather. All right, and also adjust this layer. Okay, if you want, then we can scale it. Let's change to 2 view. Okay, now it is visible. So it is hiding behind this previous layer. So let's change it over here. Send it little bit backward. Okay, bring this layer a little bit over here. Okay, scale it. Alright, so this is how I have adjusted. Okay, and we have this. Okay, then we can add the mask to this this layer, board layer. Okay, so select this board and select this pen tool and create the mask just like we have created mask for this building. Okay, press M for the mask, invert it, go to mask feather and increase the feather. Okay, so we have this kind of transition from one room to other. So I have increased the mask of the both, mask feather for the both, and it is kind of merging. Okay, so this scene and then it's coming to here and it's changing. Okay, like this. Okay, so we have this next scene. So as we enter in this scene, what we can do, we can just trim out the all other layer before this. So which are they? These are the layers. This is already trimmed. So this one. Okay. This one. Okay, so let's use option and this bracket key and trim it over here. Okay, then this table, this board also we can trim it. Okay, and similarly when we are in this scene, okay, here we can just trim these layers for the last scene. Okay, because we don't need it here. So option and this left. Okay, so from here we will be needing it. Okay, before that we don't need it. All right, then saving the project. Okay, so we have the street view. Then we will be adding the characters in this scene and then we will be arranging them in this 3D space. Okay. Alright, so we are now ready. Let us bring those images. So these are the characters. These are characters separated using the Photoshop. Background has been removed. So these are different characters that we are going to import here. Okay, and we are going to place it. Okay, so let us start with some front character. So import them over here. Okay, convert it to 3D and command plus home. So they will in this center. Okay, changing to 2 view. This will be needed because we have this road. Let's convert this to a yellow color so that we can easily see it. Okay, so we have this road layer and then we have this front layer. Okay, so if you change this z-axis, you can see here that it is disappearing. See, so we want that it should be in the almost same level. Okay, then decrease the scale. Okay, decrease the scale so it will look like it is a far away. Okay, just like this, and then decrease it. Okay, and let's increase the scale just like this. Okay, this much will be all right. Then we have some other front character. Let's bring them, convert to 3D, change to one view, command home, change to two view. Okay, so just be aware that it should be at this road layer level, otherwise it will look like it is floating. Okay, then just bring it down. Okay, and change the scale so it appear like it is a far away. Place it like over here. Do the same similarly. Place it over here for 5 character front, and then rest of the character the back. Okay, so these are some front character, and now let us put some character with the showing their back. Move some character very far away because they will come into picture later on. So shift them in the zip space and just bring them forward because they will be coming close together later on. Convert it to draft 3D so that you can see the whole picture, and you can even duplicate some character. Command D, and then just you can place them over here. If you have real 3D object, then you can bring the real 3D building and you can animate like it is a real 3D scene. Okay, so from here we are moving to... Alright, so this camera is moving from here to, it is moving to here. Okay, even we can change this like this. Okay, so just like that. So it is moving and then it is going like this. Okay, and if we want, then we can just change to draft 3D and we can move few of the character to the further back. This is good. This is also good, like this one. Alright, switch off the draft 3D and change to one view. Fit screen. Okay, so now if we move from this screen to here, few characters are looking. Okay, so now we want this, most of the characters should come close over 30 seconds or so. They should be like, they should together like. Alright, so for that we will be changing their position. Okay, so for that what we will do, just we will animate their position. Alright, so here we can give this all the character our position keyframe. Let us first give this position keyframe to our front layers. Okay, then position keyframe to our all layer with there. Okay, now around just press U to close and press F2 to deselect all the layers and come to around like this 30 seconds this at this point, and we will crowd or we will gather all this these characters. Okay, so let us start with this layer with their back. Okay, let's change to 2 view so it will be easy. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this character is just like this. Okay, if you can move little bit up. Okay, just like this. Okay, make sure that they should not hide each other. So adjust the position X and Y of your character. Alright, so most of the characters are in the screen. Okay, now let us do the same thing with the front character. So let us bring them little forward. Okay, so if we now play, we have this kind of movement of the character. So we have this scene transition. Alright, so we have given the position, the movement to all these characters. Now let's select all the characters. Press U to reveal their keyframe, and then just select those keyframe and press F9 for easy ease. Okay. Alright, now a few character we can trim it, like we don't need to see them over here. Okay, so like this back character we can trim here, and later we will be seeing them. This one. Okay, so this one we can trim it over here by option in this bracket key. Key over here. So till now. Okay, just up to the second frame. Okay, otherwise it will be visible. Okay, then later on let it come. Okay, it will not interfere, but it's look kind of very crowdy. Okay, so here up to here, those characters which are far behind we can just, okay, so this character, okay, so we can trim it over here. So most of the character which are placed far back, I have trimmed it. Okay, now deactivate this draft layer and let us see. Alright, okay, then later on they will appear. Okay, so now we have these characters. Okay, now they are, we will make them like a shadow. Okay, so for that we will use this plugin. Let us first apply on this front character. So we are using this exposure plugin. Okay, and we will use this individual channel from here. Okay, and we will make them like a shadow. Okay, and change this red exposure to kind of like this, around 3 or more than 3, just like this. Also change this green exposure to minus. We can zoom it. Okay, so it's look like a shadow, -4 or something. Okay, so it feel like a kind of shadow or in the darkness. Okay, so this one is switch off and this is switch on. So after this, once we are moving in, this character one by one become prominent. So from the shadow they will become the bright green or yellow kind of thing, and then ultimately they will become red. Okay, so let us do the same for every layer. So copy it. Okay, so everybody gets black or kind of shadow. Red exposure to make them more black. Okay, and few less blacks. So adjust this red exposure minus value to make some completely black, some less black. All right, and in this at this place, in fact, we can trim all this character layer. Here we can trim them. Okay, this layer also. All right, because we don't need them there because they are starting all from here. Now we have added shadow. Now we will animate randomly first few characters that will turn into a yellowish color one by one, and then ultimately they will turn into its original color. Okay, so we will achieve this by this first character. Press U to reveal keyframe. Alright, so we have this position keyframe. This is moving here. Okay, we can add it over here, this keyframe to this red, and then this green exposure, moving to like this is a 24 and moving to 25. Okay, and we will change this value at this 25 seconds to this green exposure. We will change it to we will increase, actually we will increase to like Okay, so it is we have increased the red exposure and then this green exposure, so it is having this kind of appearance. Okay, so from here to it is changing to like this. Okay, similarly from here we can change another character. Okay, so add keyframe to over here, add keyframe, red in green and come to around 26, and then again make this to like 0.5 and this one to like 4. Character from the back, this character, these are behind, so let's add them also, and after 1 second you can turn them to almost most of the character will be turned into yellow kind of thing. Okay, so do this for the rest of the character after 1 second or so. Okay, because everybody is turning into that. Okay, so now we will be changing this value to like 3 and this one like to 5. Alright, so basically we have animated this. Okay, then ultimately at some point of time they are becoming a kind of red. So like here at 31 we can again change them to original. Okay, so let's make this 0. Okay, so we have this character, we are turning bright, and then ultimately finally they are turning to their original color red. Alright, now 2 things remained. One is this animating this coin over here. Okay, and then there is a sign of this counter, dollar counter, and the arrow associated with it. Okay, the another thing is we can zoom this camera over here. Okay, as these characters are moving we can zoom the camera. Okay, so duplicate this camera layer, press U to reveal keyframe, and just move over here at this point. Okay, just delete this keyframe, press U to reveal keyframe. Okay, over here and add this position keyframe, then parent the camera with the okay, then move this keyframe to over here just like this. Okay, to 31 say. Okay, and we will move it little bit closer. This will be fine. Okay, then select both the keyframe and press F9. Okay, so it will have this kind of this. Okay, so it will move from this camera, also move towards these characters. I think it will be enough. This will be enough. Okay, now we will animate this OneCoin logo. Okay, so change this to classic 3D if there is a problem of freezing screen or it is abrupting this After Effects and forcing it to shut down, then you can change it to classic 3D. Alright, but in this case we will not be able to animate this logo because it is using this advanced 3D. So in that case what we have to do, that thing is there in scene 1. Okay, so let's reveal this layer in the source. Okay, let's duplicate it, let's open it. Okay, delete everything. Okay, delete everything. So we have now, okay, so press U for its this is the rotation. Okay, we can readily use this one, it is rotating. Okay, and then okay, so we can delete these keyframes. Okay, we don't need this. We can also delete this keyframe as well as this keyframe. Now let us see what is happening. Alright, so it is just rotating. Great. Okay, and we can also use this environmental light. We can decrease the intensity. Okay, scene 2. Okay, let us rename it as coin 2. So this one is the coin 2. Let's bring it in the master. Okay, so we have everything set here. Let's just bring it over here, just like this. Okay, just like this. Convert it to 3D. Okay, command and home, change to 2 view, close to this road. Very good. Okay, and then let us scale it down. Scale it down, take upward, change to 1 view, scale it down to like 40. It's good. And over here. Okay, it should not interfere with our characters. Okay, well, it is good. Change to 2 view. This push it backward little bit. Okay, for the rotation we can, let's open this coin. Okay, and press U for this layers. Okay, and let's just bring it over here. Okay, so it will have this rotation. Okay, it is rotating. Okay, so we have set it around 6 or 7 seconds apart, and we have set the -4 rotation. It's the -4 rotation. Okay, and then another thing is that it is having this wiggle kind of movement, so that is we can set. Okay, so we can have this position, and then we can right click and we can separate the dimension. Okay, and on this Y position, press, keep holding alt key and click on this, and we can write the wiggle expression, and you can have this 2 and 20 value. Okay, so what will it do? It will have this kind of wiggle movement up and down. Okay, so if you think it is moving very fast, then you can just decrease from this coin layer. You can decrease this rotation. Currently we have set it 4. Now let us bring it down to -3. Okay, this will be good. Okay, so it will start slow. It will start slow, and then it will gain the momentum, and then again it will become slow. Okay, so you can set this from here. Okay, just like this. Okay, so it will rotate like this kind of thing. Okay, alright, so we have added the logo. Now we will add this currency counter. So let's create a new composition, like 10 seconds would be enough. Okay, let's call it counter. Click OK. Okay, here we will create first shape. So select this pen tool and using the shift place to this kind of. Okay, and select the color to like this yellow shiny. Okay, and use this 15 pixel, or even you can use 16, 17, like skip 17. Okay, now it is you can see that it is very, it is a kind of rectangle, but we want it to be on one side. It should be taper, so you can go to this stroke option, and we have this taper option. Okay, so from here you can end length or start with, or okay, end length. From here you can just taper it out. Okay, 100%, so we will keep like 70% or so. So it's good. Okay, then we will add box blur effect on it. Okay, and we will keep the radius 1, and we'll keep it horizontal. Okay, so it will look kind of blur. Okay, this is good. If you want more, then you can just add a little bit more, but I think 1 or 2 would be enough. So it will look kind of blurry. Okay, now it is kind of growing. Okay, so select it. Okay, and open it, and from here you can add this trim path. Go to trim path. Okay, so if you animate this start, feel like this, and if you animate this, it will have like this. Okay, so we will animate this start. We'll make it 100, and around 1 second or so we will make it 0. Okay, select both the keyframe and press F9. Okay, and select this keyframe and do this changes like this. Okay, so it will kind of slowly start, and even you can increase this 2 seconds or so. go to keyframe and then just do like this. Okay, the fast and slow. So it will have this kind of effect, fast and then slow. Okay, even you can decrease this space between the keyframe if you think it is very slow. I think this is good. Okay, so we have this shape animation. Then we will add the text. Okay, so let's add text. So let's write this 15,000. Let's select this Montserrat, extra bold. Let's keep it around 100. We can increase or decrease the size later on. Okay, now let's add this counter effect. Okay, so this is a currency counter. Okay, so let's animate it. So from here we can animate. Okay, so let's add this value over here. Press U to reveal the keyframe. So here it will start around 50 or so. Let's add 60. Okay, 10x multiplier, let's make it 1, and this is 0, and this is also 0. Okay, and the second keyframe, let's add 15,000. Okay, 15,000 is good. So we have this kind of effect. Now somewhere around 2 and 15 frame, add another keyframe. Okay, and then on this 3 and 15 add. Okay, now come to this keyframe, right click and toggle hold this keyframe. Okay, then come over here, then over here this last frame, make this 0. Now let us check. Okay, so this will stay 15 and then it will having this reverse counter. Okay, so this increase and then reverse counter. Okay, we also want, let us first change the position like this over here. So let's add slide in text animation from text preset, animation preset, text, animating, slide up by character. Okay, let's add it. Press U. Okay, let's bring it over here. Press F9 after selecting this keyframe. Okay, now it's coming from very low, so we can change that. So go to text, change this position to 100. Okay, so it will move from near this. It's okay, rather than from. Alright, then we will add another text animation, that is the blur. Okay, and from this animator one, add the properties, scale and the opacity. Okay, now decrease the opacity 0, blur to 100. Okay, scale to 150. Go to range selector, click on advanced, ease low 50%, shape to ramp up. Okay, then over here add keyframe to offset -100. Okay, come around here, add +100. So we have now two animation. One is this slide one and another is this one. Okay, so change the value position of this blur animation to somewhere around here, so it will come like a blur. Okay, and you can decrease the space between them just like this. Okay, along with this text. Alright, perfect. So it is blur and then it is coming. Okay, press F9 for ease. Okay, so let's add this effect, fill effect on both text as well as on the shape layer. Okay, now both layers selected. So over here we have this text color, this kind of yellow. Add keyframe. Similarly, shape layer, the color is kind of yellow. Add keyframe. So added keyframe to both. Okay, so the currency, press U to reveal this keyframe. Okay, so it stays here, 15,000 over here. Okay, so add keyframe to fill color. Okay, for here also add this keyframe to this shape layer also. Okay, then this is the last frame where it is turning to 0. Here we will change the color to red. Okay, this is the red. Similarly, also for the text, we'll change color to red. Alright, red. Okay, so this is how it will work. Okay, it's same, then it's changing to red. Okay, so it's kind of, this scam has emptied the wallet. Okay, so now we can import it in our main composition and we can duplicate it and we can make the 4 to 5 numbers. So let's import it in our main composition. Alright, we will make the 4 to 5 in number or 6 and we will drag and drop it over. Okay, so first we have this counter, so let's duplicate it. Alright, so we have 6. Now let's bring this first one here, convert it to 3D. Okay, so command home, you know that, and it will come over here. Okay, so this one is the first, so this first character lighting up. Okay, then second character. Okay, so let's take it over here, just like this. Alright, so we can move it up, okay, and scale it down. Press S and let's scale it down. Okay, even in the 2 view we can change its position. Let us see where we can set it. Change to 1 view. Alright, then we will link this counter to this character. So this one is this first. Okay, so let us link it with this first. So let's move it over here, front. Okay, then we can attach it with this front. Okay, so attach it with this front. Okay, so it will move around with that character. Okay, just like this. Bring it over here, change it to 3D view. Okay, over here, command home, change to 2 view. Okay, change it over here. Scale it down. So you have to change the Z position. Okay, then parent it with this character. Alright, so it will move along with that character. Okay, and you can change this different value. So some start from 60, 100. So randomly start and randomly finish the value. Okay, that we will do later. Okay, let us first finish this, adding these counters. Okay, similarly you can set 6 currency counter or however you want. You may add less or you may add, and just parent it with these characters. Now let us learn one important thing, like they should become 0 at the same time. Okay, so how to do that? So for example, if you want that they should be 0 over this 30 second over here. Okay, then just open this counter 1 over here. Okay, okay, here if you want that they should become 0, then okay, all the keyframe to here, this keyframe also to here. Okay, so that it will, like this will become 0 over this 30 second. Okay, similarly for each counter you have to make sure that they are becoming 0 over here. So adjust the keyframe. Okay, now let's open this counter 2 and do the same. Okay, so if you go to this, see every counter has a different value. Okay, even you can change this. Okay, so even you can change this like Okay, this thing. Okay, you can change this value to over here, like here. Okay, so it will take a time, just like this. So take a time, become 20,000, then again it will turn to 0. Okay, so adjust as per your requirement. Okay. Okay, now another thing is that in this scene we will make it more alive by doing some changes. We have this road and the light. We can isolate them by using this icon. Okay, so this is how we can isolate them. Okay, by selecting this icon on this road over here. Okay, this light. Okay, so let's isolate this road. Okay, so this is road. Okay, now let's duplicate it. Okay, use your pen tool and we will be like masking this. Alright, and we will increase this mask feather, we will increase. Okay, just like this. Okay, and similarly we will add this exposure effect. So add this exposure effect. Okay, from here we can add exposure 0. Somewhere around here we can again add this keyframe. Then move this to 3 frame, command and 1 2 3. Okay, and make the exposure like high. Alright, then again move to 1 2, again make it 0. Okay, again move to 1 2 3 and make this like kind of high 2. Alright, then again copy this keyframe and paste it over here. Copy all the keyframe and paste it over here. Okay, so it will give kind of flickering effect. Okay, on the road. So what it will do, it will kind of give a kind of natural scene like effect. Okay, now this 15,000 is creating problems, so let's shift it over here. Okay, so similarly add other counters, other 3 to 4 counters you can add the same thing, and then just parent it with these characters. Alright, so once we add all the counter, it will look like this. Okay, so basically we have matched it with our this character color. Okay, so you can see it here that we have added exposure, so it is kind of this shadow. Okay, then it turned to this kind of color. They have get the money. The money counter is increased, and then from that increased counter it again become the 0. Okay, so all the character turn kind of red. Okay, so it is matching this animation. Okay, this counter animation. So it is very easy. You can do so from your this counter composition. Okay, just you have to change the keyframes and you have to match it as per your color animation that is happening, the color animation that is happening to the character. Alright, nothing else. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, another thing is that we can add this glow effect on our logo. So this is our logo composition. Let's add deep glow effect. So it is shiny. Now let's change the radius to 200. Okay, and the exposure to 0.2. So this will be enough. If you want, you can increase the radius. I think this will be enough. 300. So adjust as per the final result. So we can press N on the keyboard. So our animation is up to here. Okay, now it is very difficult to play because this is heavy on the system. Add the Gaussian blur effect on the adjustment layer, and we can add this vignette effect, all those kind of thing. And we can also add the grain and the camera shake as well. So let us do that. So you can see that this flickering effect, light flickering effect is happening over here. So this looks cool. Okay. Alright, so add new adjustment layer. Okay, let's call it camera shake, add transform effect, change this scale to 101, add expression by holding the Alt or Option key, add expression to posterize time 6, also add the wiggle effect 15.3, or you can add 1.6. 15.3 will be the fast, so let's add 6. So we have kind of camera shake effect. Alright, then we have, let's add a new solid, change the color to 80 80 80, click OK, add grain effect, select this Kodak Vision 200T. In the aspect ratio size, make it 1.3, softness 1.2, change animation speed to 0.3. Okay, also add tint effect. Okay, then pre-compose it. Let's call it green. Okay, add levels effect over it. Change the blending mode to overlay. So you can reduce this, reduce the blacks. Okay, just like this. Okay, even you can play with the opacity. You can reduce it if you think so, or if you don't like it, you can reduce the opacity. Okay, let's keep it like 60. Okay, again add a new adjustment layer. Okay, let's rename it as a posterize time and add posterize time effect and set this value to 12. Okay, again duplicate this adjustment layer, rename it to Vignette, delete this posterize time effect and add this Vignette. Decrease the amount to 70. Alright, then duplicate it, rename it as a Gaussian, delete the vignette effect. Okay, select this ellipse tool, double click to add the ellipse mask. Okay, go to mask and invert it. Okay, then add Gaussian blur effect and increase the blur amount. Okay, go to mask and increase the mask feather, and even you can decrease this Gaussian if you think that it is high. Alright, so our animation is ready. Okay, so we can now, this is the camera, we can now open the camera. Okay, and from the camera option you can set it to this hexagon. Okay, and you can then play with this. You can add the keyframe to focus, distance and aperture. And this is kind of heavy. Okay, so this is good. Moving out of the camera, you can adjust the. Okay, so let me tell you, after reducing this rendering, okay, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so what you can do, you can just focus on this layer while your camera is on this, and then moving out you can increase the aperture, so you can create this kind of blur effect, then again set it to a lower value. Okay, and then again set the focus. Okay, and you can see by changing this to 2 view. So this is your camera. Okay, and this is the focus. So this is the focus. So you can set the focus. You can see this is how I'm setting the focus. So now this is the clean view. Okay, and also this focus distance. Okay, here I can increase this kind of blur and decrease the focus like this. Okay, so it will kind of blur while moving from one point to other. Okay, just like this. Same add keyframe over here. Okay, then over here I can set the focus on this layer. Okay, so let's move this layer and focus it on this character. Okay, so you can see that it has been focused. So this is the focus distance. This you can see that how it is moving. See, so if you move here, it will have the blur effect. If you move it is focused to this layer. This is our layer having this perfect. Okay, and you have to adjust this aperture. See, still it is having this focus. Okay, here focused, then there it is. Here it is becoming the blurry. So here also you can add this keyframe. Then from here you can change it. Okay, you can make it like a blur. So increase this. See, this is the kind of blur. Okay, because we have increased the aperture. Okay, and this focus distance will remain same. So at this position, clear, and then over here, everything looking crystal clear. Okay, and this animation of these numbers. Alright, so this is it, and this is the final result. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave us like, subscribe the channel, give your feedback as a comment, and don't forget to hype the video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.